Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cynispection, the show where we're 13 minutes late, but it doesn't really matter. I'm Gabe. That's John. What's up, John?
What's going on?
Nothing. Just technical trouble. Plus, I don't think we've done a show in like over a month.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, because we wanted to review Westworld, which is what
Yes.
we're talking about today. Every week, as we like to do, like one episode of whatever show we're watching. Um, and then we just like dropped the ball on this
Yeah.
because you were traveling, I was traveling. It was this whole bunch of things that we just couldn't do it. We
Yeah.
were watching,
Yeah, we were watching, we were talking about it with
we
each
were
other,
talking about
but we weren't able to actually record. So hopefully we get
right.
better, but
So I saw that there were a few more than usual views on our episode 1 and 2 review, which so
hmm
this just screams a missed opportunity, which we love to have. But if you want like deeper into those, what we speculated there, you can go watch that. But here it'll be more of like an overall, what's going on with Westworld, especially in light of yesterday. No,
yeah,
day before yesterday's finale.
yeah, it was amazing. It
Yeah.
was really
So
good. And our predictions, I kind of want to go back and watch that episode because I think our predictions were so wrong that it's not even funny. And that's what I think is so good about this season is that our predictions were just not even close to being correct.
no, yeah. I mean, it was. That's the thing about this show. It's like unpredictable and interesting, and it doesn't feel like you know when you watch like something like Game of Thrones, like whatever you feel about the end of Game of Thrones, whatever, like before I guess Jon Snow, spoilers for Game of Thrones, but before
Yeah.
Jon Snow, like death was pretty final. Like you never saw somebody that died, you never saw them on flashbacks again. Which is something like sci-fi and fantasy do a lot. Like somebody
Yeah.
died and then they come back in a flashback or in a vision or whatever the fuck. Like I remember in Smallville, like when again spoilers for Smallville, but when Jonathan Kent died, they still had the actor under contract for like the whole season, but he died like halfway through. So he kept showing up like, oh, now I'm like evil version of myself. And it just felt
Oh
like
God.
it just felt like very like we just got this guy, got to do something with it. And in that sense, the point I'm trying to make, which I'm taking a while to do, is like Westworld is the opposite. Like everyone comes back,
Yeah.
but the way they come back is like really interesting because they're like different versions. They're like, you know, good, evil, robot, human. You
Yeah.
know,
They keep evolving and keep like fracturing off, and that's kind of what we finally learn. Uh, is because they never really explained very well who like Charlotte Hale was. Like the
I think
great.
we're forgetting about season 3, and somebody I'm sure would correct us, but what I told you and you don't remember either.
Yeah.
But I believe that Charlotte Hale is, remember, so season 1, Dolores was, Arnold and Ford's favorite robot, right?
Yeah.
Meaning Anthony Hopkins and
Well, she's not just so I've been rewatching. She's
yeah,
not just the favorite robot. She's
first one.
basically like the creation of sentient intelligence, like
Yeah,
full sentient intelligence.
right,
And that's why her like quote her pearl, which is her brain, is different than all the other ones.
right.
Um,
Well,
so
repetition. Well, but others start also going through that trend, like
yeah,
Maeve, also
eventually the
repetition,
others start to
repetition.
break out of it,
Yeah,
which is ironic because guess what? That's what the outliers are in this season. So the people that can break out of the city, the outliers, are it's literally a round robin of the first season. Those are the robots that are breaking
yeah,
free during the
yeah,
first season.
yeah. I
So
noticed that too. Yeah, yeah. And it comes full circle. Same
yeah,
ideas, just used different in a creative way. So the thing about Dolores was like she becomes self-aware due to repetition and because of this cognitive ability that she has that not everybody does. Um, and also Ford Anthony Hopkins' game is, I'm gonna have the robots turn against the humans because he sees
yeah.
it as a game. He like
Well, he
and
believes that they're the next form of evolution.
right, right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Uh, so the way he does that is that he combines the personality of his ultimate villain of the new narrative, which is named Wyatt,
Hmm.
with the personality of Dolores. So I think that's why the season finale of season 1 is called the bicameral mind,
Yeah.
because the idea of mind is explained early in the season. You might have seen it if you're rewatching. There was an idea of like God is in everybody's brains, and a part of
Hmm.
your brain is God, and a part of your brain is you. But then Westworld takes it further into the it's Wyatt and Dolores. So I haven't seen season 3 in a while, and I will rewatch it now that we're done. But I believe that Charlotte Hale is Wyatt and
Yeah.
Dolores is Dolores.
Well, no, Charlotte Hale is a fracture of Dolores. They say that in like
Right,
episode 7. Yeah.
right. But that fracture of Dolores that is
Oh,
Wyatt.
yeah, that is Wyatt. Yeah.
Again, this is what I remember. I might be wrong, but that's what I remember.
No, I think you're right. I mean, this whole season plays on a lot of different themes, and one of them is that, like, if you go back and watch season 1 at the same time as this season, then you'll see that they're the same exact season. Like, they're the exact same thing, except they switched out Westworld for New York City, and that was the big twist. I guess we haven't even talked about it yet. That came
We
like
need to talk
mid,
about episode 4, right? That's what
yeah.
you're thinking about.
So midway through, the twist isn't that Dolores is in the Sublime, which is a dream world. It's that we see Dolores in the real world, and everything has been taken over by the host. And it's actually the host world, and the humans are actually now the slaves in their narratives. And Dolores, has been creating all of these narratives all along. So
Right. But she's kind of like
she's the
not
storyteller.
physically there. She's
Yeah. Oh, she's not physically there. Yeah, she's
which is another twist like
yeah, that
5
comes
episodes later or
yeah.
3 episodes later. She's not physically there. She's a storyteller. She perceives it as if she was right there, but she's not. And then but the biggest twist was that what you're seeing in the Jeffrey Wright Luke Hemsworth story is 20 years later.
Yeah.
So that some unnamed lady, you don't know who she is. It's just an unnamed lady turns out to be Caleb's daughter,
Yeah.
Frankie. Uh, it became like those early scenes on the future. It felt very derivative of the last scene of Terminator 1.
Hmm.
Remember when she's driving to the sunset in that desert,
Yeah.
and she knows that like I like it really remind, and also Terminator 2 has a part of that when they go, get the weapons and the minigun. Remember
Oh
with
yeah.
the family, the little kid that the Terminator picks up, like
Hmm.
and all that. It very reminiscent of that to me.
I think that once you get past the fact that she's not just the storyteller, like she's not actually Dolores though. Like that's what we find out at the end, right? She's the storyteller.
Yeah.
So Hale needed a storyteller, so she has another version of Dolores. And that's what was running the host version of Westworld.
Yes. It was a bit mindfucky.
You have to like remember a lot, but it's
You have
like
to remember a lot, and you have to like. I feel like something like this begs rewatch because
yeah.
upon rewatching season 1, and I was halfway through season 2 when season 4 started, so I didn't finish the rewatch. But there's so many little things that they throw in there, and then I don't know if you've seen like the look inside the episode clips that they have, like
I haven't been
HBO.
watching them, no.
Yeah, so
I know that HBO
HBO.
always does them, but I haven't
Yeah, it's
watched.
like 2 3 minutes,
Yeah.
4 minutes, something like that. And they have like Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan like talking about it, and I feel like a lot of people just assume like, oh, there's a Nolan involved, and thus there will be like time, but it feels like whoever like the person that's really on top of things, like holding the reins of this thing, is Lisa
Yeah.
Joy, his wife, incidentally, which must be fun to work with your wife. Had such a good relationship. They work together and
I
write
mean, he
together.
works, yeah, his two business partners are his wife and his brother. I don't think
Right.
his life is that difficult, honestly.
Well, tangent, but have you ever heard of the third Nolan brother?
No.
So apparently he's like this massive con artist.
What?
He's like yeah, he's like a criminal, and like I feel I might be. He did something weird, like he jumped off a window or something, or jumped off a plane, like stealing like millions of dollars or
Oh my
something.
God.
And I think he's in prison right now. So yeah, I mean, I'll look it up while you talk. But I mean, the third Nolan is amazing.
So, I mean, where we are now, and I guess this is what we can start like speculating on a little bit is so
Wait, not yet, not yet. Let's get into. Let's leave the speculation
okay.
to the
We can
end.
leave that till the end. I really want to talk to you about that because I have a couple ideas of where things are going.
Well,
But
here's the third Nolan. Matthew Nolan is allegedly an assassin hired to retrieve a considerable sum of money on behalf of a less than reputable client, and in the process allegedly killed his victim. Then in 2010, while awaiting extradition to Costa Rica for trial, he also attempted to escape prison.
that's their brother. No wonder they make such good movies. He like wrote the plot to what is that movie? Like that should be a movie plot.
That should be their next movie, just like my brother Matthew. Like the two
Yeah.
brothers are incredibly successful in Hollywood, and then this guy is just like a criminal. It's amazing. We got to read more on this, and we'll have a whole episode about the Nolan family. But sorry, you were saying.
No, so I mean we can talk about like the characters or the actors a little bit more. This season was like packed because they brought back everybody. Like in the last
Everybody,
two episodes, they brought back
Clementine.
everyone.
They even brought back the guy who plays Lawrence for like one really short scene
The
where
guy with the mutton chops was in there.
he was the no. Well, I guess I don't know. Like the guy who, like Ed Harris in season one, is always
Mhm.
getting this guy Lawrence to help him,
Yeah.
and he
No,
killed
oh yeah,
him.
yeah. They brought him back.
Right, and he's killed him like 47 times, and he comes back, and now he came back again, and he was killed again, but well, now by a robot William, which we'll talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was an interesting twist because
Robot William. So I kind of think I have a theory about what that means or meant.
yeah,
Robot William got to the center of the maze. So remember how they couldn't with Caleb? They keep trying to make a copy, and the copy keeps failing. That
yeah,
was another twist that we didn't talk about. But
it was the same thing as the father of
yeah, of
William's father-in-law.
yeah, William's father-in-law. I think that Robot William or Host William realized what regular William was, and like that kind of like transferred over, and that was him like getting to full consciousness, like where he thought just like the other William would have. Does
Wait,
that
wait,
make sense?
again. Oh, yes. Well, by killing him and just
Yeah,
making his own
he
choice.
became him,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is what Ed Harris wanted because that meant that he could live forever in that new body.
That
So
was
like
awesome.
yeah, it's insane. It's insane because they solved the problem. So like they can't really transplant it fully, but like with enough experience with the same person that trained the other host to become that person.
But
It's nuts.
tell me something, because the problem, they always say fidelity, right? The problem, like the test that they did was fidelity, try to see if they would react the same as their human counterpart through doing the
Yeah.
same thing. Father-in-law kept failing, and
Yeah.
then Caleb kept failing, but William didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I get how he became like fully self-aware, blah blah blah, but how did he survive? Because they always like start failing like physically.
Because so none of the other robots could ever make the right final decision. That's why they started failing, right? Like after enough time,
Yeah,
their brains stopped acting the same way.
right.
The host had been mimicking him so long and talking back and forth with him and learning what Ed Harris would say. And that final moment when they're sitting there and host William shoots human William, that is the final like checkbox decision that means that he is the same. And that's what he was saying. Is like that's like the perfect copy, basically. Is because he was finally able to kill him. Because never before would he have made the decision to kill the person.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I have another thing that they might have had a one-line fix, but I missed it in the last episode. I don't want to nitpick, but this is something was killing me yesterday or the day before, or whenever. So they have this tower, that just activates something in the human brain, which they used to do through flies or mosquitoes or whatever.
Well, it's a virus that the mosquitoes carry.
Right.
Yeah.
To kill each other and kill the robots, and everybody kills everybody.
Yeah.
Why didn't that affect Frankie, her girlfriend, and
because not everybody's infected.
Oh, because they were never infected by the mosquitoes.
Or they were outliers. Remember, some people, even though that they're infected, they start not following after enough time.
Yeah.
Those are the outliers. So that's why she said, where are the rebels and the outliers? Because the rebels kept coming in. It was almost like a steal from the Matrix, where they would go in and get the people out.
Get the people out. Yeah.
And so it's the
that's
same.
right. There was a whole episode
thing.
about it. Yeah, there was a whole episode about how they kept going. And you're right. I forgot.
So there's a certain group of people that it eventually stops working on, just like the Matrix.
There's a lot of information to throw at you, and it's kind of
it's insane.
You're better at remembering than I am. And another thing, we talked about this in the other episode, but what makes me so happy about the show is that nobody's talking about it, but people are watching. Like, I know people are watching. But there was a point around first season that this, like, people thought this would be like the next Game of Thrones or like Stranger Things or something. It didn't become that because season 2 was too confusing. Which was great because now it feels like a truly nerdy thing that just like nerdy, not people.
Well, you have to. The craziest thing is season 3 is actually like closing the loop on seasons 2 and 3, which is even better. So like it takes the hosts that all went to the Sublime before, and then it takes that Dolores is gone, and that there is a new Dolores that is like gonna save them all.
Christina at the beginning. It was and so it's great just not hear like the hot takes and I don't know. You're not on Twitter that much, but I'm on Twitter too much, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear people talking about this thing. Like, I'm happy it's just you and me. We can appreciate it. There's some people that like I think were upset at the episode, the last episode.
I don't know how you could be upset, honestly.
Like, I think I can. I mean, not upset because it's fucking TV show. But it's like, but I can get why you would be not satisfied with. Oh, it turns out everybody dies. You know, like it literally.
I love it.
Like everybody.
You know why I love it? Because nobody else does this. Nobody else is just like, let's just kill everyone.
Let's just kill everyone. There's 2 characters, both likable characters who survive. But they'll be dead in a few months or a few years. Like it's done. And there's the emotional goodbye. And you're like, okay, but she'll make it. I'm talking about Frankie. But she'll make it. It's like, no, she won't. Like the world is doomed. We're gonna survive in the digital age. And I mean, you and I were talking about it like, this is the last season. It seems like they want one more season.
Yeah, they want.
I'm sure it's depending on ratings. I don't know how ratings were. Like I said, it feels there's a lot of things in HBO that you don't hear people talk about, but are doing well.
Yeah, because it's been around for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I imagine that they're going to give them a 5th to like finish it up. So
this season,
really hope so.
Yeah, and this season felt cheaper. I don't know if you felt it that way.
Yeah, I did. It's definitely cheaper. They made him cut the budget, but they made it cut
the special effects were pretty poor at some points. Again, I don't give a shit. Like whenever there's a special effect, you're just waiting for the next beautifully lit shot of whatever the hell they're doing, and the cast, like they just like Tessa Thompson was, I mean, I don't want to say the MVP because everybody was great, but she was really good in the season.
She was really good.
She was great. Like Jeffrey
Ed Harris, though, watching all the seasons, he's amazing. Like he is perfect in this role. He's evil. Like he is the devil. So like we can get into that a little bit. He is the devil. Like in this world, Dolores is like, God, and then he's the devil. And
I wonder about that because her name was Christina.
Yeah, Christina now.
Was it because of Christ?
I don't know. I never thought about that. But
I thought about it. I was like, why Christina?
Yeah.
By the way, her roommate, I don't know if you recognized her, but she was in West Side Story. She was the sister. the sister-in-law, she just won an Oscar, and now she had here like a 3-line role in this thing. I kept wondering if she would like have like the I'm the ultimate villain kind of moment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would you cast her? Yeah.
I don't know.
But
She, I
again,
mean,
it's the COVID thing, because West Side Story was shot like in 2018 or something like that, and then she probably didn't have any big
oh
role,
yeah. So
and
she
so
picked this up. Yeah,
she
that's
got
right.
what she could, and now she has an Oscar, so I'm sure we'll see her in bigger things now. But I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright, also really good, but always really, really good. I
Really
mean,
good. I mean, Aaron Paul. I love Aaron Paul. Like,
yeah,
I want to watch that guy more things. Like,
yeah, he's really good in
he's
this.
really good. I mean, he's just he seems like a very small guy. I don't know. Like, he seems like a tiny guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he
Um,
is though. I
what?
don't know. Is he small?
I think he must be like, I don't know,
He's
less than
5'8". Yeah, he's short.
5'8". There you go. He's a little guy, and he's also very thin. Like, he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Especially when you put him like next to like Bryan Cranston. You know, he just
Yeah.
looks
Well, I
small.
mean, Bryan Cranston's big. Yeah.
Yeah. Thandi Wynn Newton was really good in the season too. She wasn't in it as much, I feel. She's been in other seasons more, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because I was watching season 2 again, like I said, and like there's the whole Japan storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And there you could tell that they didn't have that much budget for Japan World, because they have like really tiny sets. And it's like, all right, well, you know, it's fine. But
Well,
they
I
do,
always like kind of like just attributed that to it's not as big of a world, right? Like Westworld was the main attraction, and it's
yeah.
Disney. It's Disney World, so it's like you have the main Disney World attraction, and then all the little sub parks within it, and it's the Japan World was a little sub park.
Yeah, it was like the Animal Kingdom or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Nothing. Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I love? That the Prohibition World like was just another ripoff of Westworld. Like, it was
Yeah.
like oh, they're this big, like they do a lot of work with the robots and a lot of work with the scenery and like
Mhm.
all like the costumes, all the crap. But they're just like fucking hacks that just like recycle the same story. You know?
Well, they recycled the same store. All right, so this I have a theory on that though.
Yeah.
So that was the first version of the storyteller, and it was her getting fed like the story from Westworld and writing her own story.
You mean for the American park, for the
Yeah,
Prohibition?
yeah.
Okay, could be.
Because that was the first version of that Dolores. But remember, she never that Dolores or Christine, whatever, never was in a body before. She's never had a body.
She's never having a body, period. She still doesn't. Like
Yeah.
the last scene is just
Her being uploaded into the hydroelectric dam.
yeah. And I think once I read an interview with Lisa Joy or somebody else, and whoever this person was said, like, we knew from the start like we would be doing a different show every season.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like season 1 and 2 are pretty close.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
the
similar.
setting is the same, and but like if you think about it, like 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, it's just like completely different seasons.
Yeah, they are.
Completely different shows, characters. I mean, the themes are all about existence and
Yeah, the themes carry through, but it's a bit of a different season. They did do the time jump, but that was a big twist as well.
and
Which I didn't
it
expect.
felt great, because whenever you do a time jump like that, it's hard to justify like what happened in these 20 years,
Yeah.
and here it felt good, it felt reasonable, and it felt like, okay, you already established what's in this future world. I thought it was great. But let's speculate on next season that you were saying, like, what do you if they do it?
Yeah, if they do it, I think that it'll be like basically her creating a new world based on the outcome of Westworld. So I think the last season is we're going back to the very first season again. Like it's a rehash of everything.
But she'll fix the problems potentially, or
to try to fix the problems potentially. Maybe we would see.
A cat. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what the conflict is if she's creating it.
I don't know how you can do an entire season on it though. That's the only.
I don't know either. And how do you like? And I love that I don't know. I love that we're just like just do
Kind of
whatever. I'm ready.
yeah.
I'm bring it in. Like, congratulations to everybody on the show. I'm happy not everybody's watching. I hope they are too. Like,
I mean,
I don't want to like online. She-Hulk hasn't even come out yet. We were talking about it yesterday, but She-Hulk hasn't even come out yet, and there's already a discourse about it, and it's just like, oh.
So here's the thing I think about Westworld is Westworld you have to pay a ton of attention to, right? Like you have to watch every second of the show. You cannot put your phone. Like sometimes I want to like pick up my phone and text you like, oh my god, I'm what, but I don't because I'll miss something.
Yes.
So like Westworld is a show you have to watch. It's a Nolan-esque film, right? Like you have to watch every second of it. Most
sometimes
people,
twice.
Yeah, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. Who knows? But most people can't not look at their phone during a TV show because of this whole like 2-screen thing.
Yeah.
So because of that, I don't think it gets those followers, and those followers are the ones who live tweet and do all of those other things that we don't do. So I think that's why we don't hear much about it, right?
Yeah, it's not for the easily distracted or
No.
it requires a lot of discipline. I want to say, like you gotta be into the show, and like if you're expecting like high emotional, it's not really that. It's more of like
It's a very slow burn constantly.
There's a slow burn. There's not a lot of action. There's good action.
Yeah, there's great
good
action.
fight sequences. Good music too. You know what I loved? I mean, the last few shots of episode 7 when Ed Harris is walking away and they play The Man Who Stole the World.
Oh yeah.
It's a cover, but the original's not.
Well, almost all the songs are in a cover based on the time frame.
Yeah.
So, like in the 1920s, it was based on the 1920s. In Westworld, it was the 1800s. In the other like worlds that we saw, like it was based on that. But they were covers of modern music, which was really cool.
Which it was good. I was usually like I didn't love it when they had like songs in movies. I remember when I was a kid, tangent, but I watched The Matrix, and it ends with a song. I think it's by Marilyn.
Rage Against the Machine, right?
Or Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
Rage Against the Machine. And I was like, that's annoying, But it's just like when you use it right and you put it like at the right moments, it's really good music and really help.
And super subtle too. Like it's a piano playing it or whatever. It's in the background of a scene. It's not like in your face.
Yeah,
like you'll catch the first couple of notes and be like, oh, that song, but like it doesn't play out much longer than that.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, if you didn't watch Westworld and were just spoiled by us, like don't let that deter you from watching. I think it's a great show.
I think I could explain every episode for 30 minutes a week and still not be able to spoil the show completely for somebody, because there is that much detail in every single episode.
I would have loved if we'd been able to do that. It was just a complicated month, but it would have been great if you and I would be able to sit down and talk about every week what was going on.
Yeah, because it's so much detail. Like that's the problem. We're doing it in 30 minutes right now, and I can't even begin to explain all the little subtleties in every single episode.
Yeah, definitely. All right, John. Like and subscribe, not you, but everybody else. And we shall see you, I think, next week. Probably for an 80s movie or something. Hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, we need something happy.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.